Let's keep going on the storm damage. Nearly a week after the windstorms, tens of thousands of Southern California Edison customers were still without power, and local officials blasted the energy company. 5th District Supervisor, Mike Antonovich, was at the forefront saying Southern California Edison wasn't well prepared for the natural disaster. Well, SCE's Dave Ford is here live to tell us their side of the story. Thanks so much for being here, Dave. Appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, this was a
Tami.
tough situation, wasn't it, for a lot of people?
Yes, absolutely. This was a very challenging storm that came through the area on November the 30th with hurricane winds of 100 miles per hour. When it came through the area, it knocked down trees, debris blowing all over the place. Which inadvertently caused many of our power lines to go down because of the trees falling on our poles.
What would you say took so long to get the power up? As you heard, us mention the Supervisor Mike Antonovich, Adam Schiff's office, were very vocal about getting the power restored, and they were saying that it was taking a very long time.
Well, the challenge was with the amount of wind that came through the area, 100 miles an hour hurricane wind, knocked down several trees, large, tall trees that had been, in the area for quite some time. This massive stretch of the storm damage was roughly from Locker Center all the way up to Laverne, and the amount of trees that failed impacted our restoration efforts. It hampered it quite a lot because we had to go in and remove debris, remove the trees from the power lines, and once the tree falls on a power line, the weight of the tree will bring a power line down, poles, and
Yeah.
it's domino effect.
Yeah, and part of the criticism was that it did take so long for the power to come back, and Supervisor Antonovich saying, well, you guys weren't very well prepared. Was Edison prepared for a storm like this?
Well, the magnitude of this type of storm, going into the area and making assessments and trying to get to our distribution system to restore service, the first thing we had to do was remove debris from the area that was impacted. There were many roads that were blocked because trees were falling over roads and hampered our restoration efforts. However, we had crews working around the clock. We had many of our repair people work 24 hours with 8 hours off. We had 1,000 of local Edison employees working to restore service. That was our highest priority, was safety and restoration of service.
Part of the criticism here, I think, has been that maybe the right-of-ways were not cleared, the trees were not cleared and kept trimmed in the county areas that SCE services off of the power lines. Is that something that will change for next time?
Well, we're looking at ways in which we can improve looking at best practices in this process. I mean, I'm sure certainly there are things that we can do better, and we're certainly going to look for ways in which to do that while we'll continue to work with local agencies, federal, state, and local agencies, working with the county governments to find ways in which we can communicate better during a storm of this nature, or any other type of storm or challenge that we would have that would hamper our distribution system.
Okay, and for full disclosure out there, Southern California Edison is a sponsor of Crown City News, but we have so many people in the San Gabriel Valley that watch us that we felt it was important to get you on here to give that point of view, since we've heard all through the week the public officials' point of view on this. We do have to go. I want to thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And how can people learn more about what to do if they're still being impacted?
Well, if there is an outage and it does take place, and you notice power lines falling or that have failed and on the ground, number one, you should call 911. Secondly, contact our emergency number, which is 1-800-611-1911. I'll repeat that again. It is 1-800-611-1911. You know, with the impact of this storm, we had over 400 and some thousand customers out of power, and every effort was to provide safety for our employees and safety for our customers and restore service.
Is everybody back on?
Yeah, we were able to restore service, but we still want people to be concerned about safety with this rain that is in the area now, this rainstorm. You still want to be safe and conscious about electricity.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Dave. I really appreciate it.